Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Well, actually, more so I want to say anime request review. Because here's the thing about this, okay. So, way back when I was like probably at 200 subscribers, I'll say that, maybe a little more than that. So, that's roughly what, 6, 7 months ago around that, and maybe less than that. I had been requested to do a review for Blue Exorcist, which is obviously I'm going to review today. And unfortunately, at the time, I was busy with schoolwork. I was busy with other anime that I was requested to review, and at the same time, also just kind of my own stuff that I was watching. Because I always take it where I watch what I want to watch first, and then the reviews that are requested to me, I watch those, and then I watch anything else I could watch. The reason being is that I think always when you're being requested to review something, you have to go into it wanting to watch it. And a lot of times, if you're watching something already, or if you're in the process of watching something, you don't want to just jump ship and go to another show. So I always take my time with stuff like that, and I always kind of used to take my time for a long time just reviewing stuff that it took me like months and months to get to. But or if I already seen it, it was a lot easier for me to do at the time. But that's why I kind of stopped with the request. I asked people to, not give me any more requests because I just couldn't get the time to do it. So I do apologize to the person that might be watching this that hopefully still subscribed to me, not hating me for the fact that it's taking me this long to do this review. But anyways, let's talk about Blue Exorcist. Let's not worry about any of those stuff I just said before. So Blue Exorcist is a shonen anime slash manga. It is one of those things that there are people who love it, there are people who hate it, there are people who are mixed in between. And I am one of those people that actually love Blue Exorcist. I think it's a good show. I really do. Now, here's the thing about it. There are some issues with it. Yes, there are clearly some issues with it. I will get into those with my review. But hopefully this kind of shows you why I think Shonen to a lot of points has a bad reputation, because I think it's almost to be expected to be something that it always has to be this one specific something. And I'll get into that more with the review and talk about it later, but let's get into like what Blue Exorcist is all about. So Blue Exorcist follows Rin Okumura, who is this young man, 16 years old, and he's just trying to find a job. And right now he's struggling because all of his jobs are kind of going side and going away, essentially. He's losing a job because random shit happens to him. He either bulldozes something over by accident with too much strength, he messes something up, or he just does not do what he's supposed to do because he's kind of clumsy, it looks like. And it looks like also that he just can't control his power. He also gets into a lot of street fights. He gets bullied by people. He messes with people when he really shouldn't be getting into fights with people. But it's just more so because I think he's a loner by nature, right? That's what you think at the beginning of this. Well, Rin Okumura is about to learn very fast that he is not normal by any means. He's actually the son of Satan. His father, quote unquote, I'm putting that in quotes because there is more to that than meets the eye. He's the son of Satan, but the thing is that his father, or his, adoptive father, has been protecting him and telling him, no, you're normal, everything else like this. But he really has not been normal. And on a specific day, he's going to learn how much power he really has, where he shows with giant blue flames all around him. He grows very long ears. He grows like fang-like teeth. His tail comes out of him, and overall just becomes super powerful and super strong. Now, the whole show is centered around the concept of fighting demons, exorcising them, which is, why it's called Blue Exorcist, but more so also kind of, dealing with Rin and his various antics. His brother Yukino, who he has to also deal with, is a person that's been lying to him his whole life, where he's been saying, oh, I've been normal, I've been your brother, like that, but I've actually been more so an exorcist, a very high-ranking exorcist, and I knew about all these demons, I knew what you were way back when. So it's very interesting. He's going to meet a whole bunch of slew of cast of characters that are, trying to be Exorcist too, that also hate the son of Satan, but they don't know it yet because they don't realize that he is the son of Satan. So they hate Satan, but they also hate anything that has to do with Satan and that concept. Now, Blue Exorcist works in many ways. First off, it's a fun story. Like, I don't know what people expect from shonen nowadays. I think always people expect this kind of adaptation system where it has to be perfectly adapted from the manga. It has to be perfect. It can't be where it has anything derivative from it. It has to be just a straight track. It has to be exactly what you read from the manga, and that's it. And I think that's kind of unfair. I mean, I've talked about this before, but I always like when anime kind of goes off to a separate direction. I think that sometimes you don't need a copy and clone of a manga series. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool when you have a lot of what makes the manga great into an anime, so that's perfectly fine. And I think to many degrees you need to have characters and situations that are following the manga, the source material. But if it goes a different direction from it slightly, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's honestly not such an issue that I then go, oh, I can't watch this. This is terrible now. No, I don't do that. Honestly, Blue Exorcist story is fine. I have no issue with the story. I think that it is a shonen anime. I mean, there's a lot of shonen tropes to be found here. The main character Ren being a guy who loses a fight, then wins somehow, loses a fight, wins somehow. I mean, that's just kind of stuff you should be used to by this point if you are a huge shonen fan. But even that, I mean, it's still a lot of fun, and I enjoyed watching Blue Exorcist despite it having all these shonen tropes and stuff like that. Now, one of the other things that I've heard people moan and groan about is the filler stuff. That's what I'm going to include that into the story kind of part of this review, because honestly, people always tell me that it's like 90% filler, because the thing is, apparently, where Blue Exorcist at the time, it was the first, I think, first 15 episodes, maybe the first 14 episodes are perfectly canon, and then the rest are kind of filler. And I'm like, well, that's not a big deal. I mean, honestly, it's not. It's the thing is that I always talked about filler stuff in general. Filler in anime can be both a good thing and bad thing, in a sense where when it's bad because, like, for example, let's take Bleach for example. Bleach has a lot of filler in the story where there are times where nothing is at all relevant. It is all just completely something extra to kind of waste time and make sure weekly episodes are coming out. I said daily. Weekly episodes are coming out, and the thing is that, well, that is an issue because then you get back into the main story and you're like, where's all the characters I just met? Where is the concepts I met? That is where I have a problem with the story, and that's where I have a problem with filler. In Blue Exorcist, the filler that is presented to us actually isn't too bad. It's stuff that, it has relevancy. It has where, Rin is dealing with this issue or dealing with this character. Characters' friendships are getting more closely intoned with one another. They have where, certain enemies are appearing and they are canon to the story. So I almost want to say it's not filler per se. It's more so a way of kind of making sure that the manga got further ahead of the anime at the time. And that, to me, is fine, because that means that, hey, okay, they know it's filler, per se, they know that, but they're making sure that it's staying relevant to the story. It will not be one of those things that just disappears, and will always have a purpose in it. So, honestly, it's not a big deal. I have no issue with it. So, I know people, right away say, oh, it's filler, blah, blah. To me, in many ways, it's not. I'm going to be honest with you. It's really not, because also if you do read the manga, and I have someone that I know reads the manga religiously, they tell me that all the stuff that's happening is becoming, something that is happening in the manga. So realistically, maybe if you can see it as anything, it may be just a way of, kind of future-proofing Blue Exorcist, at least to the point, because I know second season's coming out, I think in January, so that kind of dates this video, but I believe it's coming January 2017, around that time period. And that means that, hey, you know what? At least now we don't have to go back and add a whole bunch of stuff. We can kind of focus on the story, because the anime original, the first season, made sure that, hey, you know what? We have the stuff from the manga, or the stuff that was at least going to come to the manga, and now we just focus on the second season to kind of work from there. So I have no issue with it. And I think people that are fans of the shonen manga for this should not have an issue with it either. Animation-wise, I like the animation for it. I don't think it's anything special per se. I like the fights. They're very well done. I think the characters are really cool. I mean, they're not per se anything that you haven't seen before in shonen. I mean, probably the best two characters here are Rin and Yukino. I think they kind of look cool and not your typical shonen characters. Everyone else I've seen before, and I've seen in other stuff before, so I have issues with them. Like, it's not per se a super big deal, but it is a, like, oh, I've seen these type of characters before drawn. It's like, is that such an issue, though? Like I said, it's not really supposedly an issue, but for me, it's one of those things that I've seen them before done. That's the bottom line to it. Voice acting wise, I watched this all in dub. I didn't watch this in the original subs. But the thing is that I actually like this in dub. I have no issue with any of the voice actors. Some of my favorite voice actors are actually main characters for this. So that's Johnny Bosch, Bryce Paperback. I like all those characters as voice actors, to be honest with you. So that's cool. Soundtrack wise, I'll say this right now. I hate the original opening. I hate the original ending. I'll just be honest with you. I like the secondary opening, and I love the secondary ending. I think the secondary ending I've listened to like a million times, because honestly, it's just that good. So that's to be something. I do like the actual show music. I think it's pretty cool and fitting for a lot of the moods. So I have no issue with that. Overall, Blue Exorcist is not gonna be the best shonen anime I've ever seen. Bottom line, but it is a very, very enjoyable show that I really enjoyed watching. I mean, honestly, that's what I think matters the most. That's why if I had to review this from an A through F, I give it a solid B plus. You know, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You're going to have some people that bitch and moan about the whole filler elements and stuff like that. But like I said before, hopefully you were paying attention. This is a filler that I can deal with because of the concepts of how they're working into the main manga and how it's going off of that, which is perfectly fine. And honestly, if you have not seen Blue Exorcist, go watch it. It's only 25 episodes. It's all on Netflix, so you can watch it there. Hopefully, it's still on Netflix. It should still be on Netflix because I remember. I mean, it's been on Netflix for a long time as it is already. So I have no reason to believe that they're going to get rid of it anytime soon. But they might. You never know. But I saw it on there, so you can buy this too. It's available, and I think Aniplex owns it. I believe. So it's expensive, but you could buy it that way. But anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this review. As always, if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share the video, you know the whole nine. Until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.